Okay, everybody, welcome back. So I'm going to do another new series, mod showcases. This is by far my favorite mod I have ever seen. It's the TARDIS mod. It's a Doctor Who mod. It's awesome. And yeah, it's gotta be my favorite mod so far. So let's jump right into it, and I'll show you everything that there is. So this is the console. Alright, hang on. Maybe we should start with how you summon the TARDIS, or how you get a TARDIS. Now, I was messing around with the Lord of the Rings mod, but so we'll start with that. So basically, what you want to do is you want to craft this, the TARDIS key. To do that, you need to have iron and a Contron crystal. Now, I'll get into how to get a Contron crystal or make a Contron crystal later. And so when you right-click the key, it will say the key feels warm, like in chat, and a TARDIS will materialize in front of you. And you can walk in, and from that point on, it is a level 1 TARDIS. Now, you can level up the TARDIS, but if you see these gauges here, they say, like, there's the XP gauge, which, I've been working on this TARDIS for a while, but, it, will say level 1 and, like 0 XP out of 100 or something. And to level up the TARDIS, what you're going to want to do is, really the fastest way to level it up, there's going to be a little stick right here, that says, well, it's going to be, uncoordinated flight and coordinated flight. When it's out, it's drifting, and when it's in, it's flight. Maybe we should start with the screwdriver. So when you come into the TARDIS, there will be a sonic screwdriver. It will look like that. So it'll be sticking out like that, and you just pull it out, and then it's going to have a couple of modes. It's not going to have, okay, so hang on. It will look like this. Now, in order to change the screwdriver, what you're going to want to do is push this button right here, and it'll change it. So then you can take it out. Now, eventually, when you start leveling up your TARDIS, this green light is going to come on, and that's going to make it able to locate the TARDIS. So, say you are out in the world and stuff, and you left your TARDIS somewhere, and you're like, oh crap, I forgot where my TARDIS was. So if you shift right-click with the sonic screwdriver, it will go through all of your modes. Now, what we want to do is go to locate. Now, when we right-click, it tells us the exact coordinates of the TARDIS. So then, okay, fine and dandy. That can come in handy, most definitely, to finding it in the beginning. But then, there is something even better, that when you level it up, it adds the ability to transmat. So we will walk outside again. For some reason, my skin keeps turning on and off, and on and off. There we go. Okay. So, we'll go to transmat. And when we right-click, it teleports us right into the TARDIS, which is great. So then, oh, that's the wrong thing. We'll get to that later. So then, fine and dandy, you can get in to the TARDIS and find it and stuff. Now, here's the coolest like, by far ability. It is called, well, I forget what it's called. We'll see in a moment. But if we go over here, let's just go over here real quick, and you can see it. We'll shift right click, and we'll go to mode recall. Now when we right click, it says TARDIS inbound. Now if you give it a minute, the TARDIS will appear in front of us, which is really cool. Like that. And you can hear it stuff. Oh yeah, it makes the noises. So that's the sonic screwdriver. Now, in order to get a new sonic screwdriver, you have to have 500 energy stored right here. Now, before the TARDIS levels up, it starts with 1000 energy, is the max. So, you're going to have 500 energy. And when you right click this button with an empty hand, or just right click it, it brings you a new sonic screwdriver. So let me run you through all of the controls. One more thing with the sonic screwdriver. What you can do is say I want to add any of these things. So we'll say we want to add a normal corridor. So we're going to shift right click until we get to the mode schematic. Now let's say we want to add our thing right here. We'll just right click and it makes this. Now you do have a limited number of rooms that you can have. Also, let's get into the rooms real quick. So the library is probably the most important room ever to have in the TARDIS, because it's an entire guide for all of the tools in it. You're definitely going to want to have that. Now, let's get into flying the TARDIS. So, right here, if we go on this side, each of these three sides is either the X or the Y or the Z coordinate. This is the X side, this is the Y side, and this is the Z side. So, with the Z side, we can change the coordinates by flipping these levers. Now, I recommend flipping the levers with an empty hand, because in order to flip it down, you need to have you need to shift right click it, but you need to have it with an empty hand. So yeah, and then this side is very important, so you can have that. Now, right here, it will have a use landing pads. Landing pads are very important, but we'll get to that later. But right here, when you pull this lever out, it's the land-ground control. So, when you pull it out, it will land on the ground. But when you have it in, it will land in midair. But say I want to have the coordinates up more, like way up, or at like build height or something. So currently, it won't actually land that far up, but if we go here, it will. It'll land in the middle of the air. So then another important thing is the drifting and coordinated. So with drifting, you will, until either your TARDIS, not TARMAS, gets damaged, and it lands on itself, or you land it yourself, you will fly indefinitely. And this is a really good way to rack up points. Now, this is the X coordinates. So it's these 5 levers here, the lever, and these 2 wheels. Now, these 2 wheels, I'm not going to mess with them because I don't want to mess with my coordinates and stuff. Will change the amount that it's multiplied by. I'm not sure how exactly it works, but this is the room deletion control, which means it will delete every room you have, And this tells us exactly where we are. Now, the zigzag plotter, basically it puts in random coordinates. Now, this wheel, when you spin it, it will decide which of the 4 ways you want to be facing. Now, these, I haven't really figured out how exactly they work, but they're save slots, so let's see. Oh, okay. So, in order to save a location, you have to pull this out, and with your coordinates, your current coordinates, you press one of the buttons. And then you go to load, and it will send you to those coordinates. So let's go. Let's make sure we have land on the ground, and use landing pads. Now this is the dimension lever, which means when you shift right click, it'll go through every dimension you have in your world, including all of the modded dimensions. Oh, and this also can change the outside from daytime to nighttime, like, because you're in an alternate dimension here. So, yeah, it changes it. Now, actually, these trees, and that middle block up there are from the Twilight Forest mod, but it looked cool, so I decided to use that. Now, in order to take off, we have to press this button right here. It's the temporal primer. And then we press the helmet regulator, and it flips up. Now, in order to take off, first, let's just make sure we have a stable, or, well, no, unstable flight is good. And we'll just go up in speed, because I need to rack up some more levels. So then you press the quantum handbrake. Now, while you're flying, it'll say taking off there. Now, give it a minute. There, okay, so we're drifting. Okay, and you want, when these turn blue, you want to, each control, when it turns blue, you want to press it, because then it won't blow up, and you'll rack up more points. Ah! Oh my gosh, I can't get to him in time. This did not go how I planned. It's harder than it looks. Ah. Alright, land. We want to land, because... yeah. Yeah. So, I failed, but, yeah. So... right. So, let's say that when it says that controls refuse to move due to damage, when you come down here, now I've added all of these upgrades, which we'll get into how to make those later, because I'm not exactly sure how to. I don't think it's very complicated, but each of these circles takes a different material. Now, these 3 right here take chrono steel. These bottom 2 you can just click with your empty hand and it'll work. These 4 surrounding the big one take dolichanium, and this middle one takes contour crystal. Now this is how you level up your TARDIS, or well, it's how you change it. Now I have changed, when you walk into the TARDIS, it will look like this. But I changed it to this. So, yeah. And then, so, with the, yeah, so, in order to make each of these ingredients, you need to, use a laboratory. Well, a TARDIS lab. Now, it is called the Temporal Laboratory, and this is what it looks like. So, when you craft it, this is the crafting recipe. So not too bad. I mean, you need gold, but that's not too bad. And in order to power it, you need to either use a Artron battery, which you can't actually craft, apparently. I don't know how that works. But the way I do it is so let's say we want to make, so we'll go to crafting lab, contract crystal. So this, in order to do it, you need a diamond and an ender pearl, and it'll give you that. So what we'll do is we will take a stack of diamonds and a stack of ender pearls. I know they're not even whatever. Yeah, I also have buildcraft, so let me fix that. Hang on. I really was not prepared for this, but I'm doing my best because it's my first mod showcase. So, we will put in these diamonds and that, and hopefully the extraction pipe starts extracting the things. I don't know why it's not, but it's not for some reason. Don't understand. Give me a minute. Oh yeah, the sonic screwdriver can be used in buildcraft to change, it's like a wrench in pretty much any, thing. Like, it's a wrench in buildcraft, basically. You're probably yelling at me, you're doing something wrong. I know, I'm sorry, but so let's see if we can we'll just put a chest on the side, like to the side of it, so it does it. Can it not pick up those things? I don't understand. Let's just throw a hopper on it, because that'll make it easier. Hopper. There. So, we'll throw that. Is it just not working for some reason? I don't know. This worked earlier when I did it. So, let's just throw that on. And we'll take this out. So this is the most basic way to do it. So it'll load it into there. Now, when you right-click it, it changes on and off. Now, in order to get them to power, you have to turn on the TARDIS. Now, we will go into drifting and stable flight. Now, stable flight means it won't blow up, basically. Now, we will just temporal primer, helmet regulator, and quantum handbrake. Makes the cool noise. I love it. It's Doctor Who. It's great. Now, in order to land while drifting, you just pull the quantum handbrake and it'll do it. So right now, it's processing the stuff. So if we give it a minute, it should give us some stuff back. So we'll just put our chest here. Oh my! So there's our Contran crystals. So now we shall try So, Dolichanium. We'll do Dolichanium next. So Dolichanium takes gold. And, the other thing, Chronosteel takes iron. Kind of obvious. So we'll throw those in. Hang on a second. Where do we stop? Oh, okay. I know why. Because we still have those diamonds in there. Yeah, that can cause problems. So yeah, the TARDIS will drift continuously in the time vortex. As long as you have stable flight on. Now, stable flight is actually an unlocked feature. Like, you have to level up the TARDIS a fair amount before stable flight actually comes into play. Now, this is going, and it's making the Chronosteel. So, yeah. And then, yeah, I don't know why that worked. I think it's probably the facades, maybe. I don't know. Yeah. So that's pretty cool. Now, I'm sorry about this lag. It's really weird. So anyway, while it's doing that, let's explore more features. So it has something called Link and another thing called Dismantle. So now let's look at the Link thing, because it's pretty cool. Okay, so when we click this, it says Link target set and stuff. Now, if we go over to my other Link, where I had it originally, it'll open a portal, which teleports us instantly between the two. Now, also, let's look at one of my favorite features, the gravity elevator. So it looks like this block here. Now, if we jump, press the space bar, it actually floats us up. And if we press shift while standing on it, it floats us down. And this area I did not build myself. It was another thing. It's in the rooms section under big chamber. Now, another of the type of rooms is medium farm. I don't know if you can add more rooms. Eventually you will be able to. So anyway, let's look at the quantum dirt. So let's just say, for instance, we'll look at this real quick. So quantum dirt is really, really cool. So we'll click on it, and now watch. It grows almost instantaneously. It's really cool. So yeah, that's really cool. Now, in order to make it, or it's temporal dirt, not quantum dirt, I'm sorry. In order to make it, it takes a lot of materials. So, it's going to take an entire stack of dirt, 32 bone meal, a chronosteel, and a contran crystal, just to make 2 temporal dirt. It's amazingly expensive, but totally worth it. Like, it's crazy how awesome it is. So, yeah. Now, I think that's probably about it. Hang on a second. Why is that not making any more stuff? I don't know why that's not working. Because the TARDIS is still running and stuff. So, yeah, but that's about it. Now, real quick, I will show you my observation deck of my TARDIS. But, yeah, oh, I hate it when this happens. For some reason, it always does this. So, yeah. But that is the TARDIS mod. Thank you all for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. Smash your face into the subscribe button. Just do it. Just do it. No, I'm sorry about that. That was uncalled for. Yeah. But thank you all for watching, and Tesla out. Speed upgrade. Oh, right.